Growing up in the typical Nigerian home meant watching Nollywood classics from legends like Mr. Abel, may his soul rest in peace, Akian Popo, Sam Loco Efe, Victor Swago and the likes. Right, there was nothing better than just coming together with your family to watch one of those movies because you were guaranteed a lot of laughter and entertainment. Those guys pioneered what is now popularly referred to as Asaba movies. But for the purpose of this video, we can call them the old school Nollywood. And then we have the new school Nollywood. That in a sense kicked off when we started seeing movies focus on youthful lifestyle and campus experiences. The most prominent faces of that era include folks like Rita Dominic, Tonto Dike, Genevieve Naji, Jim Ike, Ramsey Noah, and Nonso Diobi. But here's where it gets interesting. This new school also evolved into cinema movies and classics like 30 Days in Atlanta, The Wedding Party, and other movies that finally got Nigerians into the cinemas. And then we started having Netflix originals and other streaming platforms got interested, as expected. The stars of this era include Timini, Ebuson, Nancy Sime, Adeswai Tomi, Sharon Oja and the likes. So, the divide was pretty glaring. Nollywood had two segments, the old school and the new school. The old school had relatively smaller budgets to make their movies compared to the new school. And then the old school had really stale storylines. I mean, there was always going to be a village prince that is disguising himself to be poor that would eventually fall in love with a village girl that is actually poor, and they would live happily ever after. In the new school movies, they had more innovative storylines that would engage whoever is viewing. So the difference was clear, right? There was the old school, and then there was the new school. But that was until 2022, when a totally new segment emerged in Nollywood. We call them the middle school. Listen, I don't know the first YouTube movie you watched, but for me, the first time I ever paid attention to any movie or series on YouTube was on a Saturday morning in 2019, when a friend of mine introduced me to a series called Best Friends in the World. I remember being reluctant at first, but after watching the first episode, I decided to watch the second, and then the third, and then every single episode after that. In fact, I was sucked in. Aside the fact that I was enjoying the series because it brought back some high school memories, I was simply blown away when I discovered that the series was produced by relatively new names in the Nigerian movie industry, using no popular stars, yet they were raking in millions of views after 24 hours. That was when it became obvious that there was an entire world on YouTube that Nollywood wasn't catering to. These are the middle school. They are not looking for your mega production, high budget movies, but then at the same time, they don't want low quality Asaba movies. They don't need the most sophisticated storylines to be impressed, but they also don't want to see a village prince getting married to the poor girl every single time. 2019 to 2021 exposed this new gap in the industry, and by 2022, the middle school was ripe to now be targeted. Some of the smart early movers to break in include Ruth Kadiri, Uchenna Mbunabo, and Uchenna TV. So for over a year, their movies did really decent numbers. 1 million views, 2 million views, 2.5 million views. But even their best performing movies at the time always did less than 5 million views. Well, that was until everything changed. Between April to September 2023, Ruth Kadiri released 10 movies that each surpassed the 5 million view mark, with 8 of them hitting over 7 million views. As we speak, Wait For You is at 9.7 million views, Mannerless is at 9.9 million views, and Better Half is at 18 million views. It became obvious that this was no coincidence, How on earth did she do it 10 times with several other of her movies at 4 million views and 3 million views at least? Last year, I noticed a consistent pattern in her playbook. I found the secret, and I believe other YouTube movie directors did as well. Late November last year, I made this video where I explained how that Ruth Kadiri plays a very strategic game in introducing new charming male characters that she can create a fandom around, and she does this while pairing them with certain familiar faces. And she also understands that love-themed movies would thrive because the YouTube audience are mostly young people who enjoy such storylines. Her movie, Better Half, which has over 18 million views at the time of posting this video, not only changed the trajectory of her channel, but changed the entire YouTube Nollywood game completely. While Ruth Kadiri kept executing her incredible strategy, on November 6, everyone saw a new kind of movie released on another YouTube channel that wasn't Ruth Kadiri 247. The name? Uchenna Mbunabo TV. The movie was titled When Angels Meet. It ticked all the boxes. A new charming male character called Clinton Joshua, a love-themed storyline, and the right casting. It immediately became a sensation, and at the time of this video, it has gotten over 6.9 million views. Then came Ken and Kate, the young couple, also almost at 5 million views at the time of this recording. However, on the very last day of January 2024, the reward for their strategy finally fell like rain. 2 million views in 24 hours. 3.6 million views in 2 days. At the time this video is being posted, Treasure in the Sky, which I genuinely believe would be the most viewed Nigerian YouTube movie of the year, has gotten over 17 million views. It wasn't a coincidence for Ruth Kadiri. It's not a coincidence for Uchenna Mbunabo either. So the question would be, who would surpass the 10 million view mark again? As you guess and predict, it's important to mention certain names that are arguably the bedrock of the new era of Nollywood on YouTube. I'm talking about the powerhouse called Uche Montana, whose delivery and finesse can rival that of any A-list actress in the entire world. Without her, Better Half would definitely not be Better Half. I'm talking about Maurice Sam, whose work ethic I still do not understand. It's either that dude acts at least 5 movies per week, or he has a twin brother because he's simply everywhere on YouTube. I'm talking about the likes of Chinenye, Nnebe, who's just a breath of fresh air in the industry. The likes of Chike Daniels, Frederick Leonard the Legend, Ebubewabo, and the likes. Truth is that I'm in awe of the middle school. Everything about these guys is strange. Really strange. The work ethic, like, how on earth are you producing full-length movies? 2 full-length movies per week? How are you doing that? And then I'm also in awe of their fan base. Like, they don't play. Ruth Kadiri fans don't play with their own, and it's just amazing to see. So, whether you are with the old school Nollywood, the new school Nollywood, or the now middle school Nollywood, one thing we can't deny is that we are witnessing an evolution, right? We are seeing greatness unfold before our eyes, and I am just grateful that I am able to share this story.